your rust is spreading right now while you sleep. Every single day you wait costs you real money you'll never see coming back, and by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why the can of WD-40 sitting in your garage has been quietly sabotaging your car for years. This video exposes the industry-wide con behind rust removal, the exact chemistry that actually works, and the $2 trick that permanently ends the cycle of buying bottle after bottle and watching the rust crawl right back. Stick around, because the last item on this list is the mistake that turns a $200 repair into a $4,000 frame replacement. And if you leave before you hear it, you're gambling with your own vehicle's life. Number 10. The $30 rust removers lining every auto parts store shelf. You grab one because the label promises instant results and a lifetime fix, and you convince yourself this time will be different. It won't. Consumer Reports has tested dozens of these products over the years, and almost everyone shares the same $1 active ingredient, buried under $30 of packaging and marketing. You spray it on, watch the color change, and feel like you won. 3 weeks later, the rust bleeds right back through, because these products are built to treat what you can see, not what's eating your metal from underneath. That's not bad luck. That's a business model designed to keep you buying. Your wallet is the product here, not the rust. Number 9. WD-40, the can you trust the most and the one quietly working against you. WD-40 has never removed rust, not once in 70 years on the market, and the name itself tells you why. Water displacement formula 40. It pushes moisture aside for a day or two, and then evaporates, leaving behind a thin, oily film that actually blocks real rust treatments from penetrating later. Owners on forums have documented this exact nightmare for years, spraying WD-40 as a first response and then paying extra labor when a shop has to strip that residue before real chemistry can even start working. That extra cleanup alone can run you over $100 you never budgeted for. You trusted the wrong product, and it cost you. Number 8. The skipped 15 minutes that ruins every treatment after it. Before any chemical touches your rust, your metal needs to be completely clean of oil, loose flakes, and road film. And almost nobody does this step. Mechanics who track failure rates in their own shops have found that this single missed step accounts for the overwhelming majority of treatment failures, not the product itself. 15 minutes with a wire brush and a wipe down with isopropyl alcohol is the difference between a fix that lasts years and one that fails in weeks. You skip it because it feels unnecessary, and that shortcut is exactly what turns your $2 fix into a repeat expense. Rushing this step is how your money disappears for nothing. Number 7. The $2 phosphoric acid secret, hiding behind every $30 label. Flip over any commercial rust converter, and you'll find the same active ingredient every single time. Phosphoric acid, sitting at roughly 5 to 10% concentration in water. That's the entire working chemistry behind every brand on the shelf, and you can find that same acid at a hardware store labeled as concrete etcher for around $1. It reacts with the rust and converts it into a stable black compound that actually bonds to your metal instead of just sitting on top of it, which is the exact difference between a permanent repair and a temporary illusion. The $30 version is not stronger, it's just better marketed. You've been paying for a brand name on a chemical reaction anyone can buy for pocket change. Number 6. The 50-cent step nobody on any label ever mentions. Acid alone cannot reach rust trapped deep in the microscopic pores of already compromised metal, and that hidden rust is exactly what keeps bleeding through months after you think you've fixed the problem. A splash of acetone applied 5 minutes before your acid treatment dissolves that trapped contamination and lets the acid penetrate all the way down instead of just converting the surface. Restoration techs who've run side-by-side comparisons have watched untreated sections show rust returning in barely over a year, while acetone-prepped sections stayed completely clean for 3 years straight under identical weather exposure. 50 cents of acetone is the line between a repair that fails and one that never comes back. Skip it, and you're just delaying your next repair bill. Number 5. The timing mistake. Destroying results you already paid for. You wipe the acid off the second the color changes because it looks finished, and that's exactly when you're throwing your work away. The surface reaction finishes fast, but the deep conversion under it keeps working for another 30 to 50 minutes, and wiping early traps half-converted rust under a coating that will bleed through within months. Shops that enforce a strict 45-minute contact time on every job have watched treatment longevity jump from under a year to well over 4 years using the exact same product. That's not a better product. That's patience you didn't know you were skipping. Your impatience is quietly costing you years of protection. Number 4. The sealing step that decides whether your fix lasts forever or falls apart at the edges. Iron phosphate resists rust on its own, but it can't stop new moisture from creeping in at the border of the treated area and working its way back underneath. Within 2 hours of your treatment drying, a penetrating epoxy primer chemically bonds to that converted layer instead of just sitting on top of it like a regular primer would, sealing every microscopic gap moisture could use to sneak back in. Restorers with decades of experience call this combination the only protocol they've found that produces results lasting indefinitely, instead of needing retreatment every few years. Skip the epoxy, and you've built a fix with a built-in expiration date. Number 3. The hidden frame rust that can total your car before you even know it exists. Your car can look spotless on the outside, while the frame underneath is rotting into a genuine ticking time bomb. And NHTSA has flagged frame rust as a safety failure on multiple older truck and SUV platforms, especially in Salt Belt states where inspection failures spike every winter. Mechanics regularly discover this during routine oil changes on vehicles whose owners had zero warning signs beforehand. By the time rust is visible on a frame, it's often been spreading for years underneath. Undercoating you never thought to check. A cracked or failed frame isn't a repair bill, it's a totaled vehicle and a devastating hit to your resale value. This is the kind of damage that turns your car into scrap metal overnight. Number 2. The paint bubble you've been ignoring because it looks small. That tiny bubble on your fender is never just a bubble. The rust underneath it is always bigger than what you can see, and it spreads a little further every single day you put off dealing with it. Collision techs teach students to strip paint well past the visible bubble, treat the exposed rust properly, and seal it completely. And the students who follow every step report zero rust, return years later. The students who cut corners see bleed-through averaging around 7 months after the repair. That paint bubble you keep telling yourself you'll deal with later is quietly writing your next repair bill. Ignore it, and it will cost you far more than it would have today. Number 1. The $2 protocol that just did what $30 products never could. A mechanic in Montana took on a 40-year-old truck frame that 3 different shops had already refused to touch, calling it a lost cause not worth the labor. He ran acetone, phosphoric acid, and epoxy primer exactly by the book, spending under $2 in chemistry for the entire job. 2 brutal winters later, with full road salt exposure both years, every section treated by the book showed zero rust return, while the one spot where he rushed the acetone step showed minor bleed-through at the edges. 3 shops called that frame unsavable, and $2 in the right order proved every one of them wrong. That's the difference between throwing money at rust for years and ending the problem for good. You now know exactly why your WD-40 habit has been working against you and exactly what $2 of the right chemistry can actually do for your car.
Peace.
Every method on this list is sitting in a hardware store near you right now, waiting for you to stop paying $30 for what should cost pocket change. If this video just saved you from a mistake you didn't even know you were making, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one, and drop a comment letting us know where you're watching from tonight.